Good morning. It is my pleasure and privilege to welcome you to the 118th Commencement ceremony for Laurel School. As is our custom, I ask that at this moment you silence your cell phone, and those of you who know me well know that we do not take flash photographs at a ceremony such as this, as it is both distracting to the audience and dangerous for your graduates. So thank you for abiding by that request. Our invocation this morning in the program is said to be given by Rabbi Hayem from Temple Tifereth, Israel, but sadly, Rabbi had a death in her family. We are so fortunate that Cantor Kathryn Wolfe Sebo has stepped in and will offer our invocation this morning.
Praised are you, creator of us all, sovereign of the universe, for giving us life, for sustaining us, and for enabling us to reach this moment. Eternal One, creator of our mothers, our fathers, our generations, today we offer thanks for the joy and privilege of joining together. Parents and grandparents and family and friends gather today, grateful in acknowledging the many and diverse accomplishments of the 68 members of Laurel School's graduating class of 2017. In this moment, these young women pause to reflect and to fondly recall the friendships they have made and the life lessons they have learned. On this day, they are especially mindful of all of the blessings in their lives. And so we ask you, Source of Life, that you will continue to bless these exceptional young women, prosper the work of their hands as these graduates of Laurel School's class of 2017, our future leaders, move forward to strengthen our community, our country, and the entire human family. Amen.
I invite our guests and faculty to be seated while the seniors and the school remain standing. Her classmates have wisely selected Natalie Thomas to offer reflections from the class of 2017.
honored guests, parents, faculty, upper school, and senior class. Good morning. I can't express how excited I am to be speaking today in front of all of you, and thank you for allowing me to do so. Sometimes I sit and think about what it will be like when I leave. When I leave Cleveland, Shaker Heights, Laurel, and even Severance Hall today. The life that I have known has been so defined by Laurel and by all of these people. So what will it be like without it? What about in the fall, in maybe 10 weeks' time? I'm sitting on an empty bed frame with just a mattress, surrounded by crisp brown cardboard boxes that my family and I bought in bulk at Costco, filled to the brim with clothes and towels and blankets and memories of home. There's a window to the right of my bed, and a tree outside covered in green and yellow leaves, some with just a twinge of orange, and there's a big green lawn that it stands on. I watch as frantic students roll their suitcases, and parents struggle to see over piles of boxes that are weighing down their arms as they walk. My roommate sits on the opposite bed, and the room is silent. Our parents have left. This is it. Breaking the silence, she says, "So, what was your school like?" How could I possibly reflect on my experience accurately? What could I say? Do I start with classes or teachers? The emphatic class of 2017? The endless parking drama, song contest, how our headmistress's son, Atticus, always seems to be present somewhere in the school? The ring chapel, May term, or senior speeches? Well, maybe I could just start with how I felt, and this is what I would say. Of course, like anybody, there were days that I could barely drag myself through the hallways and up and down stairs to go to class because I was so exhausted or stressed. But the truth is, I loved my classes. From the beginning of my upper school time, Laurel helped me become comfortable with the fact that enjoying learning things wasn't lame or something to be ashamed of. This year especially, I felt excited about things like math, which gets a really bad rep. I had grown to the point that I felt comfortable expressing those feelings, and while I could definitely overwhelm the teacher sometimes, I would jump up and yell out when I figured out a concept or when we connected it to something else. I felt like I could be myself in that room, as well as in art class and physics class and Chinese and English class. Through embracing that, I was able to open myself more to everything and everybody around me, listening and learning from each person's perspective. I formed connections with teachers and students in my and in other grades that I had never really fully experienced before. I won't lie, there was a lot of time in high school where life was pretty rocky. I had a lot on my shoulders, but I came out on the other side, as did everybody in my class, on some level, in some regard. See, the beautiful thing about my class is that we don't sit back in a circle singing Kumbaya. Because of our experiences at school and at home that have given us all some grit, if we were asked to sit in a circle, we wouldn't sit in a circle. Some would sit, some would stand, some would move around, some would sing and shout, some would talk, and some would try to sleep. But we wouldn't see a problem with that. We are a class that embraces and stands with each other, even silently. We are fiercely protective of each other, even if we don't always admit it. And we are protective of ourselves. Sometimes, of course, we let things slip. But when we wanted to get something done, we got it done. Take senior prank day, for example. For a while, we had decided that our prank would be not to do any pranks. But then suddenly, in the last couple days leading up to it, many expressed interest in actually pranking as much as we could. On the final day, in just a few hours, over 85% of our class was able to seek out and sign the petition that a classmate had written, asking special consideration for our delay and in planning and explaining each prank. And honestly, for being pulled together and organized in 14 hours, our prank day was epic. We had students on the phone with farms asking if we could rent a camel. We got enough hay to fill an entire classroom and lab with a thick base layer, and students were up until early hours of the morning painting planets and making signs to hang. We all contributed because we felt excited and because we didn't want to let ourselves or each other down. Each of us have different strengths, And we have all learned to raise each other up using those strengths. And we have taken the time to learn and understand each other's weaknesses and to fill in the gaps. I know I don't just speak for myself here when I say my favorite classes and most rewarding ones were the ones where not everybody shared the same views or personality types. I felt closer and more connected to those classes and learning environments because of our differences, not despite them. We were most successful when our song contest leaders were people with very different strengths, yet their teamwork garnered respect from everybody in the class. We trusted them, and rightfully so, as we were led to back-to-back victories this year and last. Maybe the time where we all stood in a circle after song contest with our arms around each other, singing the Alma Mater is the exception to my no sitting in circles singing Kumbaya statement. Sure, these examples are comparatively small in the grand scheme of life, as they are just senior prank day and song contest, but they mean so much more if you think of them as representative of larger traits of this group of people. That's what I would say to do my best to sum up my time at Laurel and my experience with these wonderful people with whom I share the stage. The thing is, of course, I'm not qualified to give advice about how to handle life once we leave here today, so I won't tell you what to do or how to do it. Instead, I'll tell you what I plan to do and what I know, based on what I have seen and learned from spending so much time with all of you. Given the state of our country and our world right now, it's a good thing we have developed the grit and the tools to stand up for ourselves and for what we believe in. We are able to recognize our privilege while still recognizing that we have struggles of our own, and we can use our privilege and knowledge to lift those around us who have fallen or who need help. We have the resources to push through the inevitable obstacles and frustrations that await us in college. Keeping this all in mind, when I get to college and am having this conversation with my hypothetical roommate, if she is still listening, I could say to her, I am one of 68 distinct, attentive, and competent people. We grew up in a school that sometimes drove us crazy, always pushed us, and always valued us. What was your school like? Thank you.
I invite the choir to join us on stage. Thank you, choir. Thank you, Mr. Galt. It's my great privilege to introduce our commencement speaker today. Margo James Copeland is Executive Vice President and Director of Philanthropy and Civic Engagement at KeyBank. In her role, Ms. Copeland also serves as Chair and CEO of the KeyBank Foundation, guiding the company's strategic philanthropic investments in education, neighborhood prosperity, workforce development, and community service. A great alignment with some of the values we hold dear at Laurel School. Ms. Copeland holds a Bachelor of Science degree in physics from Hampton University and a Master of Arts degree from The Ohio State University. A native Virginian, she resides in Cleveland and is mother of 3 adult children. Recognizing that business and community prosperity go hand in hand, Ms. Copeland leads Key's commitment to transforming and sustaining communities. She currently serves as trustee of Kent State University, the Cleveland Clinic, Say Yes to Education in New York, the Thomas White Foundation, and the Kenneth Scott Foundation. She participates in the Executive Mentorship Program at Morehouse College and is a member of the Business School Advisory Board at Hampton University. Ms. Copeland is the 15th National President of the Links Incorporated and also a member of the Executive Leadership Council of the Links. Her list of honors and accolades is long and impressive, but I will say only that her commitment to mentoring young people is well known in northeastern Ohio. Several in the Laurel family have benefited from her wise guidance, her no-nonsense approach, her humor, and her high expectations of anyone who seeks her counsel. I am particularly pleased to share with this audience that Margo Copeland once served as trustee for Laurel School, though sadly before my time as headmistress. Please join me in welcoming Margo Copeland.
Thank you. Thank you. And it is an honor to be here. And I was absolutely just flabbergasted with the invitation. What an honor. My daughter once was a Laurel girl, and Laurel prepared her very well. I also want to say to the Board of Trustees and to the faculty, administration, parents, students, but most especially to the class of 2017. Welcome today to this extraordinary moment in time. And this is a moment to cherish that we all spend together, a moment in time that we will never spend ever again together at this time, but it is a moment that we will cherish and love and lift up and celebrate these 68 young women who are about to embark on this most important stage in life. Now, I'm not confused. I stand between you and celebrations and picture taking and luncheons and parties and whatever you're going to do to celebrate this great day. I have 3 of my own with graduations, and I can't tell you who were the commencement speakers at any of those affairs. So I'm going to be on and off. But what I do want to say to the class of 17, I will say to you, congratulations, as you have now completed your smaller life. This is the omega of your smaller life, and you are now at the alpha of your larger life. You have hit an important rung on the ladder of life and about to go on an incredible journey. You are ready, you are prepared, you are able to step forward with great assuredness because you've come from the hallowed halls of Laurel School. But for a minute, let's step back and consider the juxtaposition of success, because clearly you're successful. But let's consider success versus leading a successful life. Certainly, success can be measured by some by material trappings and outward evidence. But what I'd like to explore with you or discuss is what are the essentials of leading a good life. Certainly, your formal education paves the way and platforms your ability to continue to learn, seek, and persevere. Let's explore with an open mind, and I'll share with an open heart what it means, in my view, to consider success versus leading a successful life. At the heart of it is graciousness, and gratefulness. And I guarantee you, my sisters, that if you live a life of appreciation and gratitude, blessings, untold blessings, will continue to unfold and come your way. The gifts of life will surprise you. I also want you to consider, please know at all times, someone is watching you. Even when you don't notice, someone is watching you. When you least expect it, someone may emerge who has been paying attention to you. Make sure that what they see is your best self, living, laughing, loving at your highest level. Now, I went to college, it seems like 100 years ago, but I remember my 4 years at Hampton on the banks of the Hampton Roads, with the mouth of the Chesapeake Bay, miles and miles of gorgeous waterfront. I could look out my freshman dorm room. I could stroll down the waterfront. I was a sorority girl. I sang in the choir. I participated in the modern dance group. I was a member of the student government, and I dated the quarterback. I fell in and out of love and managed to pick up a physics degree in 4 years. They were the best 4 years of my life. I welcome you, class of 2017, to the best 4 years of your life. Now, some of you may take 5, but I suggest you try to do it in 4. In that time, do what makes your heart sing. Know what makes your heart sings. Understand that which is good and worthy for your time and your precious moments. Never allow anyone to take the key to your dreams and place them in their pocket. Lead by love, follow your heart, follow your passions, and I cannot say it enough time. Know what makes your heart sings. I also suggest that service continues to be a part of your mantra as you spring forth from this great community known for its service and philanthropy. But serving is so important because in the words of Dr. Martin Luther King, he says, everybody can be great because anybody can serve. You don't have to have a college degree to serve. You don't have to make your subject and your verb agree to serve. You don't have to know the second theory of thermodynamics and physics to serve. You only need a heart full of grace and a soul generated by love. Those words penned over 50 years ago, as relevant then as they are today. I had the privilege of meeting silver and bronze Olympic medalist Bonnie St. John a couple of months ago. And in her speech, she talked about the fact that when she was competing in the Winter Olympics in 1984, she fell down and she got up. And when she got up and when she finished, she won the silver. Now, for most people, that would be great and enough. But she said the gold medalist fell down as well. The gold medal winner in that race fell down as well. And the difference was the gold medal winner got up faster. In life, you will fall down, but you must get up. And according to Bonnie, if you get up quicker than the other person, you just really may be a step ahead. Continue to be intellectually curious. Read and write and listen and create and explore. Allow yourself as many unstructured and unscripted days as you can possibly have. Wander aimlessly through a day and let the day carry you where it will. Be present, but don't be oblivious. Don't stand in a crowd and not know why you're standing there. It is much better to stand alone with purpose and conviction. Listen to all perspectives. Listen to all sides of an argument, all viewpoints, and all persuasions, because information is power. Listen, even though what that person may say may make your blood boil. But listen, understand, and be present. Believe in yourself and know from this firm foundation you are planted, firmly planted, This is your birthright from your families and your preparation by Laurel School. And again, I'm going to remind you, because this is important to me, have fun. Enjoy, love, and be happy. Dance on the stage of life. Never take any moment for granted. Rejoice in the sunshine and celebrate in the rain. Marvel at ice crystals on a snowy day. Celebrate an ordinary day and thank God for normalcy. Excellence. Excellence each and every day is my mantra, and I say to my team at KeyBank, but excellence does not equate to perfection. Excellence only means that we're giving our best at each and every encounter, each and every engagement, and each and every time that we have the chance to engage. Authenticity. Be you. Be who you are. You will always be on a journey of self-discovery, but be close to who you are. Be mindful of who you are. Continue to reacquaint yourself with who you are, and never lose who you are. This self-discovery will lead to self-actualization. Have honest conversations with yourself and heed that voice within. Recognize that there's a powerful universe that is boundless, limitless, and contains abundance at your beck and call. Draw on it at all times of doubt and uncertainty, and believe that all things can come together and work together and are ordered for your good. Rejoice in the best of times, and trust you will have all that you need in the worst of times. Go boldly into your future with the full knowledge that on this day, and at this time and for these moments, it is you who has the intellectual energy to go all the way. It is you who is positioned by this firm foundation. It is you who represents the hopes and dreams of your families. And it is you who possesses all that she needs for a wonderful future. Believe that and speak that into existence, because Oprah Winfrey tells us, of course you have to have an Oprah quote for a commencement address. She said, your legacy is about every life you touch. So my interpretation of that is mindfulness, knowing what you mean to others and how one word that you speak to another can lift that person's spirit, or that word could dismantle that person's self-worth. Know what you mean to others. Know your brand. Know your reputation, your honor, your values. That is your legacy. You are on a journey, and remember, this is your journey. And there will be some that will be on this journey for the full duration with you. Those are your families and your loved ones. There'll be others who will be on the journey for short periods of time. They are on ramps and off ramps on your journey. You keep your eyes on the prize and stay focused, and bless those on ramps where you're meeting new friends and acquaintances, and really praise the off ramps where you're really disposing of people in your life that you don't need. Let's celebrate the off-ramps. Your parents will. I've seen a couple of them. Be able to discern the difference between the big stuff and the small stuff. If you're going to walk out on a limb, that's fine, but know why you're doing it. Have conviction in doing it, but don't test that limb every day. Separate what's important from what's not important. If it's not going to matter next week or next month or even next year, maybe you don't need to walk out there on that limb. Listen and heed that small voice inside of you. There's a light that's been placed inside of you intentionally for your greater good. Listen. You'll also have a lot of discussions on the other side of college, and off into your careers, into your larger life, about work-life balance and juxtaposing and how can you do it all, can you have it all? Well, in my humble opinion, there's no such thing as work-life balance. There's only life, and everything else is subordinate to life. Life, the adventure of life, is to learn. The purpose of life is to grow. The nature of life is to change. The challenge of life is to overcome. The essence of life is to care. The opportunity of life is to serve. The secret of life is to dare. The spice of life is to befriend and to love. The beauty of life is to give. and release your greatness for the world to experience and embrace. I say to you now, graduates, don't worry, your parents will be fine. You'll be great, they will be okay. And when I reflect on when I took an 18-year-old, doe-eyed girl to Spelman College, and I left her, well, I didn't leave her, but anyway, when we were there, the moment had a lot of noise, at those last moments. And there were a lot of mothers with a lot of do's and don'ts and don't do this and instructions and what have you. And the only thing I could think to say to my daughter was, you've been raised. You've been raised, class of 2014, by this beautiful community that you have been privileged and blessed to grow up in. You've been raised. And again, you carry the hopes and dreams of your families with you. You are greater, you are better for this experience, and now you will release this experience for the world. So I say, go boldly, my sisters, into your futures, and I'm wishing each of you a very successful life. Thank you.
The presentation of diplomas. In keeping with the grandeur of this setting and the solemnity of this event, we humbly ask, and I'm asking this at the request of the class, that we distinguish between commencement and a rock concert. We ask that you hold your applause or any spontaneous whooping until every name has been called. Eleanor Marie Dirtle. Evie Jane Weisblatt. Samantha Catherine Riddle. Gabrielle Alexis Fernandez. Anella Marie Fernandez. Julia Ann McGee. Casey Paulette Gregory. Alexandra Sarah DeStefano. Katie Elizabeth Dinner. Danielle Pauline Vanoker. Caroline Ann Kahn. Alexandra May Trykoff. Deepal Nadar. Madeline Bateman Campbell. Emily Rose Knight. Kristen Frances Mahako. Anna Rose Briglia. Erin Nicole Dyke. Alexandra Page Mangel. Christina Elaine Steele. Maris Kate Hammerman. Leisha Murray Payne. Isabel S. Friedman. Sarah Elizabeth Hull. Lillian Jean Ostrander. Morgan Anna Flynn. Alexis Catherine Clegg. Mickey Rose Reisman. Magdalena Claire Navacruz. Shalyn Tyree Ari Beasley. Nicole Elizabeth Catherine Ahmed. Just wanted to keep it lively. Georgina Gabrielle Datillo. Melissa Ashley Chi. Julia Warner Corcoran. Anna Hansen Bridge. Sophia Rose Ruttenberg. Grace Caroline Murphy. Alexandra Elizabeth Harris. Natalie Grace Thomas. Jane Cole Arnold. Mimi Grace Thompson. Julia Rachel Saltzman. Nora Barrett Hyman. Elise Campbell Evans. Sophie McMillan Hatch. Mia Bricker Freer. Anna Victoria McGregor. Abigail Elizabeth Reese. Alexandra Elise Cade. That is quite a gift. Grace Elizabeth Olson. But don't try it. Adele Leanne Walker. Cecily Elizabeth Martin. Audrey Grace Moore. India Celine Cora. Charlotte Stella Bichet. Dana Marie Way. Isabel Victoria Paris. Lael Raven. Antonina Lee Schubert. Lucia Marie Pabon. Claire Louise Popovich. Autumn Lily Faithwalker. Taranay Sarah Tabibazar. Brooke Julia Siegler. Hannah Marie Wakefield. Nina Lopez Chapman. Molly Elizabeth Easley. Faith D. McCormick. Maybe I'll say her name again. Faith D. McCormick. Now. Just a second. Now, I present to you the Laurel Class of 2017. Will the school and the seniors remain standing? Everyone else, please feel free to take a seat. Please stay standing, school, and I invite our guests to rise for the benediction.
As this ceremony draws to a close, I'm honored to share with you the ancient words of blessing that are found in the book of Numbers. This is known as the Birkat Kohanim, or the priestly benediction. Ruach Elohim, may God bless you and keep you. Ruach Elohim, keep you safe from harm. May the love of friends be your shelter from every storm. Yivarecha Adonai v'yishmarecha, Yair Adonai panav elecha, v'chunecha yisa Adonai panav elecha, v'yasem lecha shalom. Class of 2017, may God bless you and keep you. May God shine upon you and be gracious to you. And may you be granted the greatest gift of all, and that is the gift of shalom, the gift of peace in a world and a home filled with peace. Amen.
We'll conclude by remaining standing to sing the Alma Mater, but the custom at Laurel is that the senior class alone will sing the second verse.